Welcome back to another week of AEL Season 1. Not just that, Season 1 Reloaded. I'm McCready. Joining me today is the wonderful Bianca. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Well, today it's the evening now. For both of us, it's pretty late, isn't it? But
Well, yeah, it's technically a morning, but that doesn't really matter because we're here for a reason, aren't we? Being that's to watch some good Siege.
yes, I agree, and I'm excited to see. Are we going? Wait, before I even say, are we going to standings? Well, we'll talk about this in a second.
Yes,
But
we are.
McCready, how are you though? Hold on. I feel like I
I'm
was a
doing
little bit
good.
rude. I
Yeah,
didn't even ask you.
no, it's fine. I'm doing all right. I'm really excited looking at this scoreboard because what we'll do is we'll take a look at the Commando conference here, which is on your screen. Couple of things to take a look at the moment. So you look at Recon, you look at Scout. Essentially, those two areas are pretty much locked in. So Byako, Element Gaming, A5 Storm, and Chaos are all guaranteed to get through because Kinetic, Frontier, guys, and Temper have all had to either disband or kind of step back. And so the Scout and Recon is pretty much set as where it is. The exciting part for me, Bianca, is looking at Surveillance and Pathfinders. So with the Pathfinders side, it's looking pretty good if you're on What Up Esports. They currently can't be knocked off of that spot. It's the other three teams that are in this group that I'm really
Wow.
excited to see because we've got Dallas Coyotes, Moses and the Disciples, and Not Weebs. There's only 3.5 points between these teams. So if Not Weebs are able to win out this game today that we are going to watch against Dallas Coyotes, that puts them in just enough of a spot to stay in it until the end of the season, but they need to start having a really, really strong rest of this group stage. They need to play almost that perfect game. Whereas when we take a look over towards Surveillance, it's a little bit closer together. Regai, they're pretty comfortable at the moment, but they can still be knocked off that top spot by Axiom. Master Chefs and Squad Up, neither of them are knocked out of this just yet. So their Surveillance, that's all to play for. That's the one I'm going to be looking at. Regardless, so the game we're going to focus on is that Dallas Coyotes and Not Weebs. We've seen a fair bit of Not Weebs before. They've been a strong team. They've been ones that, while you haven't been putting up as many numbers as we've wanted to see, they have done quite well. I know you like running us through the teams on here, don't you?
Yes, on Not Weaves, we're gonna have Mr. Busta. We're gonna have Dan. I'm gonna just say Dan, cause they just why y'all putting out their full governments on here? Oh my God, they got full government names on this. All
He
right,
wanted it, right?
that's
They asked
interesting. Yeah,
for
he
it.
wanted it. Sorry guys, just so that y'all don't think that whoever the producer is a crazy person. They wanted this, so I don't know why you would ever want your govy out on there. But anyways, we got Dan, we got Kura, we got Demuno. I'm gonna say Demo. That seems better. And John Crafter. And then on, of course, Dallas Coyotes, we're gonna have Retro, Moiner, Chungus, Rock, and Nerdies.
I I like those names on the Dallas Coyotes. I mean,
Chungus, you like the Chungus one? Tell me you like Chungus. I feel like you connect
it's
a little
nerdies.
bit.
I
Like
like
you just heard
nerdies.
that and you were just you like nerdies. Oh, okay. Oh, like y'all have the candies
Yeah.
nerds in the UK.
Not really, we don't actually. I know of them, but we don't really have them. You can find them, but they're a little bit harder to find in that one. But regardless, let's take a look at the game. Yes, Chungus, an amazing name as well. But at the moment, what we are going to do is take a look at the map bans because as much as we could talk about the players we see in front of ourselves,
Ooh,
there are
my
maps that
favorite
we are
part.
going to head to. Again, Bianca, you love this bit.
Yes. Oh my God. Let's take a bet. I hope that is not Oregon though. Waiting for Oregon to get it. I'm gonna say club. I'm gonna say club. I've been seeing a lot of club, and it's honestly been like disheartening. Oh my God, Oregon is off. If I was right, I'm gonna cry. No, I'm telling you right now, club is like the new Oregon. It literally is. I would rather cast a game on Oregon at this point than a game on club. So
Yeah.
now it's really gonna either be between club or is no Villa's not in the map pool, is it?
No,
Chalet. Oh
so
my God, I was
Chalet that will be
freaking
taken
right.
down.
I was freaking right.
Yep, we're going to head over to Clubhouse, which makes a lot of sense, especially with the teams that we've got at the moment, in my opinion, Bianca, because we take a look at Disciples, not Disciples, sorry, the Dallas Coyotes and Not Weebs. These are two teams that don't really have any breathing room. They don't have an error for margin. If this was the team above
I'm
them,
margin for
then
error.
yeah, they don't have any margin for error.
You
You
said
understand what I
error
mean?
for margin. That was so funny. I'm
Regardless,
so
with
sorry.
this, they're able to, they don't have that opportunity to kind of mess around, try out new maps like Skyscraper or Border, like you might have wanted to see from them. They've got to just go in for the basics. A map like Clubhouse is a map that you have to have a deep understanding of. You have to know how to play it if you want to succeed as a competitive team. I've said it before, I'll say it till the day I die. Unlike Oregon, Clubhouse is a map that is going to stay in the map pool. Very excited to see how Lair works out, but until then, we've got to focus on this map at the time. Oregon does rear its ugly head with the rest of this this season. Now, though, the operator bans as we do get into our first map.
Come on, give it to us, McCready. Okay.
I don't want to say. I'm not surprised, though.
Okay, Monty, fine. Wait, somebody just said, what's your favorite operators? Tell us, McCready, while we look at these bans. Why don't you tell us your favorite operator on defense and on attack? Doesn't have to be because of their ability. It can be because of their gun, too.
Yeah, I was kind of going to say, I'm going to go with preference rather than kind of competitive viability. I think more Yana Malusi is kind of where I lean towards.
Okay.
But in terms of the bans, I was seeing the Dockerby makes quite a bit of sense. I mean, a lot of teams have really been quite aggressive on maps like Clubhouse with their roamers. Dockerby, Monty being taken off the board kind of plays into that a lot more. The Monty can really shut things down. Alongside the Dockerby, that can just deal with that roam clearing. Not Weebs, I expect to see a bit more roam play from them on the defense, because by taking that operator away, it gives a lot more freedom of movement. They're a lot harder to track down, and there's not that audio cue being given. Cade and Mirror on a map like Clubhouse makes a lot of sense for me. I mean, I'm thinking of the hatches down below on that bottom floor. I'm thinking about that bathroom wall. As an attacking team, that Mirror can really slow things down alongside a Cade. They don't have to worry about bringing out Maverick now. They don't have to worry about, as soon as they get, say, Jacuzzi wall open on Gin Bedroom, they're not immediately worrying about a C4 flying out from Bathroom as quickly as it might possibly do so. We are going to head to the bottom floor, though. This is one where I feel like the roaming's really going to come out from both teams. I mean, both teams should be able to use a good roaming roaming lineup, and with Bandit and Azami on the board, they've definitely got the potential to do that.
I wonder if this is this the quad split or is it the half 6 round split? Do we know at all? Okay, it's still the 6 split, which I was gonna say, I feel like the quad splits can absolutely like change the way that some of these maps are played, especially like if they decide to keep a mirror on a board or not. But considering that it's gonna be a 6-0 split, we decide we're gonna ban the mirror. I think it's good. Like you said, I think these bans are pretty typical. I would assume so. I would say an Azami over a Kaid. But maybe I'm just a little bit crazy. But anyways. Seems like all these depends on. It's gonna be pretty linear. I don't think anything is different other than a little cheeky spawn peek from Moiner.
Yeah, so it all depends on how teams want to play, and as you can see, Nerdy's right now over towards this blue side is trying to play a little bit aggressive, but not too much. They have these Azami barricades to buy that time. Now, though, not Weebs are going to start entering into this garage side. We'll spot the player over towards red stairs and be aware that this room has to be dealt with. This attacker's going to have to waste that little bit more time. You can see there's one in CC, one over towards that main lobby area. This means not Weebs. They immediately have contention that they have to deal with.
Nurdles to take down one. It's going to be Mr. Dan taken down, but instantly refragged over here by Yes, I'm Black. And with that, it'll be a 4v4. I also did see that Mr. Bean was going in through oil, so maybe they're going to do a little bit of a split kind of, you know, blue tag and then maybe, you know, a hatch drop or something. We also aren't going to see the blue hatch reinforced at all. With that, Botez, I don't even know how to say that, is going to take down Stingy, and that's going to be a 4v3. Now we're going to be in favor of the boys on not Weebs. However, there might be a little bit of a contestation over here by the blue stairs. Nothing. Mr. Homeless Rock can't fix. Takes down Yes, I'm Black, and it's back to a 3v3.
Yeah, now in this situation, not Weebs could have read into it and realized with these players out on the roam, they could have got explosive, they could have got aggressive, and they could have rushed onto that site. But that's not what they've done. They've slowed things down. As a result, these refrags have come through, and now we're seeing time to start to take it down. Domino is able to find Chungus, and in doing so, we'll just kind of even things out a little bit more in favor of the attackers. And with that time on the defensive side, it might as well be a 3 versus 3. Botez, however, on the drops, able to find one. Homeless gets the second, but it's going to be Botez with the refrag. And that is that round taken down in favor of not Weebs. They slowed things down well. I was going to say, I wanted to see them continue that momentum, but I'll give them credit, B. They slowed things down, they identified what they wanted to do, and most importantly, the refrag numbers were there. In a 3 versus 3, it's so vital to do that. And I want to talk a little bit about how we saw some of these flanks come through. I mean, we saw quite a few of them just coming out of nowhere, didn't we?
Yes, we did. You know what I was also kind of wondering? I was wondering where Bean went. I thought he dropped oil, and then he was nowhere to be found. But anyways,
need to locate and defuse
I digress. Talk about that Rome game, but it seems like we're going to be going back downstairs to the bottom floor. Maybe this time they'll be able to hold it down a little bit better than the last one. They didn't do too bad. It was a kill for a kill at some point, making it a 3v3, but after that, the walls came crumbling down, and they were not able to be built back up.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those where, with those refrags coming through, in all honesty, I believe that the Dallas Coyotes were given enough time to get these Romas back to site. They were able to get them down, although that's where not Weebs really started to shine. They had a couple of players watching this flank watch. I believe it was Bean that was covering that, and Demino. They were both keeping an eye on these things, making sure that blue stairs were covered, the main stairs as well. Again, we're seeing this very extended row. Not Weebs might look into this and go for a similar push they've wanted before, where they take that blue garage control. But if they do that, then the question is, how will Dallas Coyotes react once things start going wrong? Will they slow things down, or will they just drop straight away? And what we're going to see now is, again, that early pressure over towards blue and garage from the side of not Weebs. The drone's going to start to go through, try and spot out some of these roamers, or at least spot any signs that they're up there. At least knowing that somebody might be on a roam, like you can see right now with Stingy backing off, can waste so much time, even if nobody gets a kill at all.
Seems honestly very interesting, I'm not gonna lie. This is beyond like just a regular roam game. This is like a hard roam game. With that though, Stingy wastes about 45 seconds. Being out then takes him down, and the boys on Not Weebs are going to be back at the man advantage, or not back at the man advantage because it was tied up before, but a 5v4 in their favor. Winner, though, is going to be tucked just outside of Lounge. Do they know he's there? We are going to see two people, and I'm pretty sure they have a cheeky little feeling that he is going to be there. Two people will swing him out. He doesn't know, but he takes out one anyways. The MPX does all the talking, but Beanyard from the hatch above to take him down. Equalizer, not equalizing it, getting a pick for a pick, but a 4v3 is still in the way as Not Weebs will be leading. But I spoke too soon. Mr. Chunk is to take down Dan over there by Blue. A 3v3 might just be a 3v2 in a second, making a 2v2. Oh my god, Vignot is on the road to getting an ace right now. He needs to just stay calm and collected. He's got 2 more kills. Chungus is at 3 HP, extremely low. He's gonna hit Mr. Ace on the cheekiest bit of HP. Vignot to get taken down. Chungus with 3 HP and a dream beautifully done. Botes is gonna be left in a 1v2, but then again, Goyo is extremely low. Regardless though, it is a headshot type game. If you get a single headshot, you win it out, and he doesn't even need his primary. His pistol will do everything he needs. Beautifully done, and a great round for the boys on Dallas Coyotes.
Yeah, really good defensive round on that one. But again, not Weebs. I've got a lot of good things to say about that attacking side for them. They early droning in, getting that information, realizing the play on would have been above, and immediately Bean's there to deal with it with the support of the rest of the team. We saw that first pick come through, and as soon as that pressure over towards main stairs was being dealt with, the Dallas Coyote player got a pick and was able to rotate off. As soon as that happened, though, what we saw was Bean straight away on that construction hatch, dropping, finding that refrag. Like you say, there wasn't many kills coming out in that round that weren't trades, weren't at least having answers to them. And that's something I really like seeing from the side of Not Weebs on the attack. The Dallas Coyotes, though, I feel like they really took advantage of the fact that Not Weebs slowed down just before the attack. They slowed down, and in that, they slowed down. Goyo canisters started going off, and I think then they started to panic because they immediately tried to ramp things up again on that bottom floor, which is where we saw one player peeking Goyo at a time, which is where that's when they really started to pick up the kills. That Goyo canister could have waited. There were 2 people. They could have at least tried to go for a refrag, but single peeking. Anyway, we need to move on because that round is over. We're not going down to that bottom floor. We're up at gym bedroom. Like I said, we don't have any mirrors on the board, neither do we have any Cades, which means that bandit is going to have to be brought out. Alongside it, the tuber round, I'm going to look at slowing down Elia's heart breach utility and put that DMR to good use if they have it, which they don't actually in this case. Very early roam presence has been applied again, and a bit of damage has looked at going through, but hasn't really done anything so far. But what you see right now, the 3 players over towards Cash, the main role of that player on red is to apply the pressure, make this Ash not want to get out of that situation. If that happens, then Stingy can just pull back. They can rotate over through construction all the way back to Master, but they're able to hold their lives and looking to have that tiered defense that you look to see in construction. And doing so with the Azami barricades as well, that's going to slow things down, make them use utility, and take unfavorable gunfights against Moina, who's able to pick things off, taking Moina in that first frag.
I was gonna say, I have a feeling that Moiner might just get on a heater and a legacy type game, but he instantly gets taken down by Dan. That's again another refrag. It seems like again and again a kill doesn't come out without one being instantly refragged right after. Top of main stairs though, Dan is gonna take down Cinder. I guess you can say top of red stairs. Gonna take down one. Boats is gonna take down Mr. Nurdles as well. I don't even know what to say his name, bro. I'm gonna just say Botes. I think, no, Boat, I think it's easier. But anyways, a 3v2 comes out and it's gonna be in the favor of not Weebs. Although it was a 4v2, they still do have the man advantage for now. Let's see if the points on Dallas Coyotes can clear it out, or even it out, I mean. Waji coming in through, takes down one, but another one gets instantly taken down, and Dan finishes it off with a wall bang headshot. Beautifully done, the G3 through the wall, and that will clear out that 3rd round, and the first time that they did end up going gym and bedroom. Unfortunately, the boys on Dallas Coyotes will lose that, and I'm gonna assume that they're gonna go back. Yes, they will, because nobody ever goes CC and Cash.
Yeah, I mean, CC and Cash has really fallen out of favor, and it's quite simple to understand why. A lot of teams don't like the fact that it's so cut and dry as an attacking team, and the amount of verticality as well as the ease in getting breach open is something that defenders just don't feel comfortable with, and don't blame them. What I'd really like to see from Not Weebs on that last one, because I want to talk about a lot of the positives we've seen, especially for Not Weebs actually bringing up the rear in their group so far, is the fact that they've been able to win out these early gunfights, and because of that, they've been able to collect on a lot of these things. Now, yes, they lost that first one there, but in terms of early gunfights, when I think about refrags, they're taking control of that cache. That's something they're able to do quite quickly. They force these defenders out, they at least get 1 kill or 2, and then they've taken highway control and are looking towards construction. That was done so quickly. I really like the pace that we're seeing from Not Weebs. Dallas Coyotes, though, I'm enjoying the fact that in the second round we saw adaptation that was able to bring it back. We're not seeing any real change to the roster in the lineup that the Dallas Coyotes are bringing at the moment. But I want to see how the playstyle changes. Are they going to slow things down? Are they going to fall off of this cache CCTV area just as quickly as possible? Or are they going to try and play their life again? Now, though, we will see the attackers, see how they deal with it.
We will see. You know what? I'm surprised, considering that when they were going down into the basement, I feel like their roam game was so completely. It was very different from what I typically see. A third floor roam in one basement is absolutely ridiculous. But anyways, surprised their roam is a little bit more linear here. They're not doing anything, you know, 2 balls either. Pretty much just playing with that cache extension. That's about it. Maybe a little bit on rafters, but I feel like that's not too uncommon, especially considering they do have the Azami that they are going to be able to play. Flores, though, might just be able to counter it a little bit. And the Jacuzzi, well, might just be something that they're going to open up very soon. We're approaching 2 minutes in the round, and not too much has happened as of right now. Not many interactions, not anybody really seen any other players. We're gonna have a couple of lines of sight open, but not too much to really get anything going. We need the ball to start rolling soon, and with that, Dan will take the first step, taking down Mr. Chungus, but make that 2. He's going to take down Mr. Rock as well, and that wall's gonna get opened up easily, so Moiner to take down Boats. It's gonna be a 4v3, but do they know that Dan is being a cheeky little booger in gym, getting that bomb down? He is gonna get killed from right behind it. It's gonna be Stingy, taken down by B. Bomb is gonna get planted, swung out by the Jacuzzi wall, all the way Vignon. They take down the up to Moiner in a 1v4 post plant, taking down 1. Will they take down the other? 180s, Jesus! Had to do it to him. Oh, don't do it to him. Another one coming up, red! Oh my God! They get a 2v1, but don't forget, one of them is going to be TBNO'd. He's going to have to, of course, get this last final kill and get the bomb off. He's going to finally finish off this kill, and I knew Wonder was going to get on an absolute legacy streak. I felt it within me, but I'm not sure if he has what it takes to finish off this round. 10 seconds remaining. All he's going to have to do is get this bomb, and unfortunately, I don't think he's going to be able to defuse it. He gets the ace, though. but not enough time. That's unfortunate. Moiner, amazing job, but unfortunately it will not be enough. Not Weebs securing their 3rd round win.
Yeah, really, really big effort coming up from Moiner. Like you say, you expected them to have a moment like that, and that's exactly why, because they can deliver for the Coyotes, but it just wasn't enough at that point, and in that round, it should never have got to that point. What we saw from Dallas Coyotes, they suck that defense and that roam, that extension, they suck it a lot harder in that round, which is something Not Weebs read into almost perfectly, like a book even. While they're focusing over towards Cash CCTV side, they had one attacker focusing on that area, maybe two. Just putting a little bit of pressure over there, making sure the defenders' heads are turned towards that position. Whereas what we actually saw from Not Weebs, their focus was on that jacuzzi breach and main stairs. The fact that they hadn't taken that construction, that CCTV area that early into the round at that minute and a half mark, really highlighted to me they had to go for that Logi jacuzzi main stairs push. They weren't going to be able to get in from those windows because they didn't have CCTV control, and that's something I feel like the Coyotes could have probably read into. They didn't have that pressure over at that late mid stage of the round, so they should have realized they're going somewhere else. We need to focus on this main stairs. By that point, it was too late. The push had come up the main stairs. They'd found not one but 2 kills. They were on site, and at that point, Moiner and Nerdies are both going down as that are both left in a 1v2 off site, scrambling to get back as that plant's gone down. A huge effort from Moiner, should not have been allowed to stay alive as long as they did, but a well-deserved 5 kills to really pad those stats at the moment. Now, though, Not Weebs, they're going to have another crack at the attack. Dallas Coyotes, they need to see what they can do to change things out. Down to the bottom floor now, B. And you said about this roam, not really expecting a 3-tier roam. Well, the reason for that mainly is, like I said before, to really make Not Weebs divert a lot of time and attention to that top floor. The problem is, and you may have spotted it, is they're not going for that top floor, are they?
Absolutely not. It seems like they're going to be pushing their way through sight, but regardless, Dan is going to take down one. Yes, on Black, taking down another. Fortunately, Rock is going to be there to stop it all, and I mean, considering there was 3 people all on that roam, seems like they held it down pretty nicely. It's going to be a 3v1. There is still 2 minutes remaining. A lot of time for Yes on Black to do what he needs to do. But will he be able to clutch it up? Moiner got the 5-piece last round, the beautiful ace, and he had a lot less time on his hands. In this case, Yes on Black can most definitely make some waves, could definitely change the tides of this game, but it all depends on him. A liquid drone is going to come out. There's going to be somebody holding in blue. It looks like a shotgun. It seems like it's going to be the mute. Moves, repositions. He's waiting for him to peek just a little bit. What will Rock do it? A minute 25 now, and it's basically just going to be a game of cat and mouse. Can't imagine that this is going to be too enjoyable to watch unless, you know, Mr. Yes on Black makes a play, runs in, gets 2 headshots without even needing to plant a bomb. But anyways, I digress. Moving forward into blue, and we're waiting for an opportunity.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
Yeah, one that's not really going to come. However, Homeless Rock will push forward and off their head on a silver platter. But a minute ticking down on the clock. That blue control firmly in favor of the defenders. While they're not there, that prox mine's going off. The Dew mines are following. And with a minute on the clock, a crossfire is sure to follow. So let's talk about the round. While this inevitably seems to go in favor of the defenders as the push comes through. It's what we saw before the push. A really good kill coming out from the 1 or 2 players down on site over towards blue. They were aware that this push comes through. They did quite well to do the damage onto the ash. I believe it was down who fell to that dirt. In doing so, that kind of neutered the entire push. They were looking for aggression. They were looking for speed. And thanks to that Goyo, thanks to just 1 or 2 players keeping their heads on a swivel, they were able to counter it. A couple of kills come through. They found another one over towards that blue stairs. That's when the attackers really stopped losing their momentum. They really weren't able to do much more because the Coyotes had just shut them down. Yeah, there was a good couple of kills coming out from Yes on Black, but in the same vein of what we saw from Muna, it didn't really have that impact. But what is exciting me here is that we are going to head to that CCTV cache site. And the reason that you said a lot of teams don't like this is what I'm about to highlight now. For attacking teams, it's very formulaic. It's very simple on how to attack this site. That breach needs to get up. If need be, you get a player over towards that window in the top right, and they'll use utility to clear out any bandit charges, mute jammers, or anything that the defenders aren't bringing in this case. That breach opens up, and then they focus over towards garage or construction.
10 seconds left.
What you can see right now is a defensive lineup kind of geared towards hoping, or kind of expecting Weebs to try and push towards that garage. As they play down below, that castle can use verticality, the Solace is there to stop a plank going down, and they have lines of sight over towards garage. The big problem is if that construction side is the way that Weebs try to go on this 1B, that means that verticality is going to be a lot more limited. It'll still be useful, but it won't be able to contest it as much as it would with garage. The attackers, though, will start by droning. Thinker aware that these players are going to be down below. They know that that lounge is going to be a key position to take because of that Solace being on the board. Because there is at least one player with a couple of impacts on the board, that they can still apply the pressure when the plank goes down. Take control of lounge, you can get a plant.
Absolutely right. If you can get it from below, it'll be perfect. You can just take advantage of that. And with that, though, Stingy's going to take down Mr. Bean. That's the big boy Buck. He's going to be over here in gym, so it does really seem like Dallas Coyotes really enjoy their roam game. We got the Solace and the castle downstairs. Of course, we are going to have none other. Incoming! Hold on. Something might just happen. Never mind. A little interaction, maybe trying to move that castle out of lounge, but it won't bear any fruit, at least not right now. And as I'm saying that, Melusio's going to be playing in con. It seems like a lot of people are going to be out of sight, but Boots. It's going to take down Moiner. That's the Solace off the board. That is absolutely huge, especially if you're going to be trying to plan if you end up taking care of what's left in CC. However, if they do want to take advantage of CC, they're going to have to get rid of this castle first. He is still going to be lounged. He's going to be uncontested as of right now. The Finka was trying to do she could, but it wouldn't work out. Boots, though. Boats. Oh, my God. It's going to take down Chungus. And it turns into a 3v3. The boys and Dallas Coyotes will get another pick in their favor, but don't count Boats out just yet. That's a 3-piece. He's on his way yet again to get an ace, a near ace before. Can we get a second one? Make that a 4-piece and let Boots.
No, it's not going to happen. A minute ticking down in 9 versus 1. As time ticks down, it looks like Domino has to try and get this diffuser, but look at that Azami barricade. It's watching it. As time ticks down, Noodles knows exactly where they're going to come from. The pre-fire follows, but doesn't find its mark. Utility still there. No finger stims left, so 87 HP is all you have to work with. The audio cue being given, the LMG tagging down its ammo count bit by bit. Doesn't have a time to reload it as we approach our 30-second mark. The last attempt to jump on the drone will be there, and as a result, Nerdy's fully aware this push is yet to come, B.
Oh my gosh, hopefully you guys can still hear me. I think there was a little bit of technical issues, but as we reach 20 seconds remaining, Mr. Nerdles is going to just have to hold down sight, and Mr. Demo is going to have to do as much as he can to get in here and get the kill onto the Azami. He knows he's going to be top right. He's going to run in through CC right now. Watch out, be careful, be patient. The 8 seconds, he might just go to the rotator, he might just wait it out. Doesn't matter, Nerdles taking out Demo. Finally, be surprised. Both rounds were lost, Gym and Bedroom, but don't count out CC and Cash. The defense is still plausible and still doable, and with that, we are going to be doing split at 3-3.
Yeah, very well played from Not Weebs on that one, because Dallas Coyotes, they were able to close things down very good. They were able to bring it back. But to get to that point, that single walled in construction wasn't done at all. Dallas Coyotes, had focused entirely over towards that bottom floor, and they forgot a little bit more about construction. I said that was going to be a bit of a highlight area they need to focus on, just in case Weebs went for it, because that's a bit of a pressure point. I didn't realize that wall wasn't done. That wall was opened up from the construction window by an Ash, and had to be filled in by the Azami. Then we saw players behind there playing a little bit aggressive, trying to swing things out, giving picks to the attacking side. They were able to slow things down and stop the pushes come through, and most importantly, get that diffuser, like you say, locked down in the site. It shouldn't have come to that point, though. I feel like Not Weebs had really won that round at the very start, and it was theirs to lose. Very well played from Dallas Coyotes, like I say, at the end. Huge work from Nerdies. Going on to the side swap, though, we are going to head back to that gym bedroom side. I like to see that the Frost has made a bit of appearance on this one. Not really because of the Frost mats. They're always handy. They're always fun to watch, when they do eventually get a kill. But more for the utility, that site setup that we can see. On the defensive side, there's only really that Legion and Botez that can really do any vertical setup, or any setup in general, as Dan's going to be able to find a kill and shuts down the Ash. the only person on the attacking side who can really put an impact on that soft breach as well. We'll be looking for his second one, and in doing so, it looks like the attackers are going to have to really start ramping things up if they want to get this player advantage evened out. They want to take it away. The impact over the garage means that we might see another kill coming out very, very quickly.
Unfortunately, though, the Vigil is going to retreat near immediately. His way down over into oil and down into blue. I wonder where he's going to end up. Seems like he might just be by secret stairs, a full liquid rotate, trying to catch anybody off guard. There is, however, going to be somebody still chop rafters. So although one garage goon is gone, it does not mean that the other one is gone with him. It's not completely safe, and I'm not sure if they have fully droned him out properly. They do know that the Vigil was there, and it seems like they're at least going to take a little bit of caution, but I wonder how far their caution will go if they don't realize.
That Maverick isn't going to work with that soft breach, and what you can see at the bottom, it hasn't fully connected to the wall. In doing so, once the Maverick continues his top wall, it shouldn't really have an impact. That's not going to work out, which means they're going to have to waste a bit of time and then maybe expose themselves to try and get it completely done, which is what they're going to do eventually. And as a result, this ball will now, I believe, be opened. Yep, that is the case. Now, though, they're going to take a look over towards that cache CCTV. The problem is the defenders have had more than enough time to start pulling back. That player over towards cache is now stuck in that position because that single panel is opened up. But now they need to worry about Logi. As soon as they take control of cache for the attacking side of the Coyotes, they need to worry about focusing into this logistics area. Being, though, it's going to make sure that it's going to be a much more difficult of a task. We'll be looking to take Homeless as well before they're inevitably pushed out of this position. They're going to be able to down them and take them out. Beans will get a refrag, though, as Dan will take Homeless out of that position. Now, though, a 2 versus 4, and now that Logi position's really coming into play. As you spot another one B coming out.
Seems like Dan is on an absolute heater. He's doing amazing. And unfortunately, Chungus is going to have to take a 1v4. Coming up red stairs will take down one. Make it a 1v3. 35 seconds. C4 comes out, but he kills him before he can even detonate. He's going to pick up bomb and Khan as well. And when they're going to make his way through Logi. But oh my god, the frost trap of doom. That's gotta be unfortunate. Having a frost on the board with such little time, you're not gonna be so aware of your surroundings. You can't check every single corner. You can't check the floor that you're standing on at all times. And with that, the frost mat will be the thorn in Dallas Coyotes' side.
Oh yeah, it's one of those when you get down to that last couple of 20 seconds, last 30 seconds in that 1 versus X scenario. It's so difficult having a frost on the board or a cap can or a thorn because it's something that you cannot afford to forget. You need to keep it in your mind every single stage of that round and every single gunfight that you take. And there you go. That's exactly the position that they found themselves in. Looking as an attacker in construction, going through doorway or going through Logi. If you go through Logi, that's a position that feels a lot more comfortable because it doesn't mean you're just swinging a doorway from about 3 different angles over towards Gym, Bafu, and Gold. If you go into Logi, you're able to kind of minimize the gunfight, the angles you have to contest in that short period of time. But that's where they instinctively went over. They went on the vault and they caught on that frost mat. For me, the hold was so important from being there in cache. They were able to find 2 picks before they were pushed out. And as a result of that, that really stunted the Dallas Coyotes moving forward. They didn't really have the confidence to push forward or really do any of the key things that they needed to do. They didn't get any control of Logi from hatch. They didn't go over towards the windows or anything if they wanted to try and commit to that construction push. And that's because these players were taken off the board. They didn't have the bodies to spare, and as a result, the execute really struggled. Now, as you see, again, there's a bit of a love heart on there for you, as Demuno will put that in the garage. As we head back to CCTV and cache.
Yeah, this is quite interesting, I'm not gonna lie. I never see CC and Cash getting played before. Oh my god, nearly a pick comes out. But as I was saying, I never see CC and Cash get played before Basement and Gym and Bedroom. And that's just, so this is unheard of, and I'm not gonna lie, if I see not Weebs doing this, I'm gonna be quite impressed because, like I said, this almost never happens. This might be the first time that I've ever seen Cash get played before the two primary sets, because I won't lie, CC and Cash, most of the time is like a tertiary, if not the quaternary site. Sometimes I see people go barring games instead of that, but we'll see how well boys on Not Weebs can hold it up. This will be interesting, and maybe they'll, be lucky just like Dallas Coyotes, as Dallas Coyotes did with their CC and Cash. With that though, Beanyat is going to take down Stingy. It's gonna make it a 5v4 already for the boys in favor of Not Weebs.
Yeah, and the thing is with this breach opening up, however, the attackers now have exactly what they need. That site is opened up, and the players over the walls rafters are now cut off. What you do see, though, is a plan starting to go down. Botez with red stairs has a very quick answer, and that plan will stay there. That player over the walls garage is stuck. They have to open that window and cross that line of sight, no doubt being helped by the attackers. Same with Botez. That plan is a fast, sharp, and aggressive one, and in doing so, it allows them exactly this. Chongo's able to find Botez, and in the 30 seconds ticking down, the defenders have to ramp up the attack.
Oh my god, this is absolutely amazing. You cannot make this up. That was looking a lot like in Not Weeb's favor. They had the man advantage, and it seemed like they had everything on lock. So what they did not know was that a ghost defuse was going off, and not only that, but the Azami on that window, jumping into rafters, was probably the worst thing that they could have done. That would have most definitely... the Azami wouldn't have been able to see that the plant going down. If they did end up having the window open, then I'm sure the Azami would have swung that and killed the Maverick. But no, she didn't. And oh my god, that's amazing. That was amazing.
Yeah, it's really, really exciting to see that. A team that appreciate, like you say, that is, for a lot of teams, a tertiary bomb site. A lot of teams might not even try and bother going there unless they really feel like they're confident on it. And that's something that we really want to see on a map like Clubhouse. Teams need to know the fundamentals. And for Not Weebs to be able to pull, or for Dallas Coyotes, sorry, to be able to pull out an aggressive round like that, take that early control, get that plant down, that's something I'm very, very happy to see from them. Not Weebs, I've got to give them credit for giving it a go. I feel like they focused on kind of the right areas, especially in what the attack were doing. But Dallas Coyotes read into it a little bit too well on that one. I want to take a look at the scoreline at the moment. So you can see at the moment, like we said, we had that 3-3 scoreline in the first split, where Not Weebs, they were able to get that first round on the board and then get a couple to follow not long after. At the moment, though, on the second side, we are seeing things being a little bit more even-steven. So we have seen Not Weebs pick up that first round, and then Dallas Coyotes have done so on that next one. With Not Weebs, they don't have the option to go back to gym bedroom. What they are going to do now is go and head down to that bottom floor. And there's a reason why, like you say, that a lot of teams would try and go to that bottom floor before CCTV and cash. And I think it comes down to what we saw in the first couple of rounds. There's the ability to roam. There's a lot of vertical play that can be done. But also as a defensive side, if you're prone to kind of anchoring and turtling a lot more, that's something you are able to do. It's not something we've seen from the Dallas Coyotes. They do very much favor that roaming approach, that very lax look on sight, but the very fast ability to rotate back in and close down, somewhat reminiscent of that SSG roam from quite a few years ago. So seeing that is something I was quite happy to watch. I'm interested to see how Not Weebs play it. I know they've been a little bit more careful. They've been aware of the time and the space that they've been using on their attacking rounds on this bottom floor site. So the question is, are they going to do that again? Although, to kind of lighten the mood a little bit, B, I kind of want to get your opinions on the match so far, just as a kind of energy mode, because I know you've been kind of keeping it all up 100 this entire game, haven't you?
Of course, I always keep it 100 every time, every single cast. But honestly, these are the best types of games. The games where you're like, you think the round is going to go one way and then it gets flipped. And then on top of that, it's like, oh my God, it's like a 1v1 or it's like a 2v2. Like the round just ends up like basically coming to a point where you're like, oh my God, who's going to win this round? Nobody really necessarily has the advantage. And with that, another thing that I love is when the game goes on forever and ever and ever. I love going overtime match point. And it's 4-4 right now, so we're it's like one round after another. It's like one team gets around, and then the other one gets around, and then the other one gets around, and then the other one gets around. So, of course, you know me, man. If it's intense, if it lasts long, count me in. What about you, McCready? How are your thoughts on this tight game?
Yeah, I think you're kind of hitting the nail on the head. Like you say, it's like I know the scoreline says it's not been tit for tat, but it has been in all honesty. A lot of these rounds have been coming down to very, very close scenarios, very, very close gunfights, and little things that have just defined the outcome of a round. I've got to give them both teams credit. I mean, at the moment, I don't see one team just performing better than the other. It's just in each round who just kind of slips up a little bit. And when you're looking at the positions of these teams on the scoreboard, you've got second and third and fourth. That's something you can kind of forgive on this one. Not Weebs, so they are playing because they realize that this is realistically the last chance to kind of turn things around and keep in this group. So just remember the stakes. If Not Weebs don't start winning now, they're not really going to in their group. They are going to stay at that towards that bottom, and they most likely will not qualify to move on. Dallas Coyotes, they're looking to consolidate their position, stay where they are, and if they do get that position, that'll give them a really good stead moving forward to the next couple of weeks. And I do want to point out, we are getting dangerously close to these playoffs, B. We are getting so close to them, and it's getting exciting each week, seeing how the teams are going through and seeing what changes are coming up as well. And at this moment as well, I'm just going to see if I can have a look at this. Yeah, so Not Weebs do need to win in regulation if they want to win this out. They cannot afford it to go to overtime. I know you want it, B, but if that does happen, there's not really any chance for them because of the point scoring system, yeah.
Well, that's basically, it's going to be all or nothing for Weebs. If they can't win it out, they got to win it out in regulation. There's no going to OT, unfortunately, although, yes, you're right. Those are my favorite. For the sake of Not Weebs, they're going to have to win this out, and they're going to have to win it out swiftly.
Defenders,
No
protect your
OT
bombs
at
from being defused
all.
by attackers.
So we will see how that goes. But it seems like Mr. McCready, they're going to be bringing us down to basic because that CC cash hold was not the wave.
Yeah, well, it makes a lot of sense. They tried something different. I appreciate that. I commend them for it. They wanted to see if they could catch their opponent off guard. In actual fact, it went the opposite, so they're just going to say, right, we're not even going to bother. We can't really afford, like we said with the stakes, they can't really afford to play around with too many rounds, especially a 4-4 scoreline, especially when no team has really shown that they're the stronger one so far, and it's such a close game. They go into that bottom floor site, they are digging in, they have the operators to do it, they've got a vigil for that road, don't get me wrong, and this vigil will look at getting aggressive, something we've seen in every single round almost. And right now, a very tight room. And what this does as well is going through this dirt allows them to get straight back onto site. They don't risk anything. As Domino is also looking for that spawn peak. But I love the kind of coordination on that dirt. The only thing I want to see, B, is somebody there in dirt ready to just reinforce it and back it off for them. Just to speed things up. Because that run out, I really like to see that. I really like what they did with that. And I wish we actually saw something off the back of it. For the time being, though, for Dallas Coyotes, they know what Not Weebs are trying to bring to the table. They know that due diligence is going to be all important. As that vigil does run up to the top floor, as are the rest of the Dallas Coyotes. But Muna is going to be the one to start things off by taking out Bean, the doc of all operators. But more importantly, let's look at that scoreline, B. That's 10-8. Bean has been at the forefront of pretty much every gunfight we've seen. Not afraid to take them. In this case, though, they are going to lose it.
Yeah, no, him and Dan have been absolutely shredding the competition. I'm gonna call him the shredder in a second. Shang is though gonna take down Dan. I was just gassing him up. We got the two of the shredders on the boys on Not Weebs. Gonna be down. It's gonna be a 3v5. It's not looking too good, but anything can happen. There's still a minute 40 remaining in the round. I'm curious to see what the boys of Dallas Coyotes are thinking or where they're gonna be pushing in from, because it doesn't seem like much has happened other than apart from the roam game basically being minimized and basically absolutely gone, blown out of existence. Seems like we're going to be getting the hatches, of course, and a little bit of vert is going to be made, and it seems like the entirety of the Dallas Coyotes roster is going to go over there by bar. I wonder if it's going to be a little lone straggler kind of making their way through solo dolo. We will see. There is going to be somebody by blue stairs. It is going to be none other than Mr. Moiner, who he got the ace this game. Hopefully he can kind of make a little bit of a play as well, and it's absolutely correct. The boys on Dallas Coyotes, 4 of them are all in bar, and then Mr. Moiner solo doloing and gonna make his way through blue, hopefully.
Yeah, the side of Dallas Coyotes with 45 seconds left on the clock are going to look to set up this to execute. 2-player advantage at the moment. They don't really want to overpeak and give anything away, which means they can reinforce their way through this main hallway, but that does leave a lot of risk, which means we're going to see 2 of those players heading over towards Moto. They're going to distract the Mono, but with the M870, as the utility goes out, the flashbangs go, and the players drop, it means that peak isn't going to come through from Demono. Homeless Rock will start leaving things out, but it's going to be Stingy gets the first kill. Botez has an answer, and Munin has one as well. Nerdle, going to be closing things out from that main stairs, holding that long angle, and while the player could go in and push and get the plant, It just seems like the Ace decided that they wanted to win, and it was gone in a blink of an eye. I was trying to set it up for you, and then Dallas decided they wanted to take the lead. I believe for the first time that we've seen.
I mean, I'm not complaining. That round was absolutely beautifully done by them. Not only that, but I don't even think I mentioned this, but Moiner used to play on console as well. So, although I love the boys on not Weebs and I love very close games, I also love when my console players are playing. And so I have to say I'm a little bit
Attackers need to
have a little bit
locate
of
and
a leaning
defuse bombs.
favor on the boys on Dallas Coyotes. And not Weebs get absolutely torn to shreds. At not only do they get not necessarily blown out, but they did definitely lose CC and Cash. They will also just absolutely get blown out at the basement. So they are going to have to win not only this round, but if they want to continue moving forward, like we said, they need to win in regulation, which means they're going to have to win the next 3 rounds in a row. Absolutely no room for mistakes. They cannot let Dallas Coyote make it to match point, because regardless if not Weebs do end up winning the game, if it's an OT, it will not matter. And so now, I'm sure the boys on not Weebs are a little bit nervous if they even know that they are only able to win in regulation.
We're talking about this. That Maestro camera being positioned there is, you may be looking at it and thinking, well, there's a Maverick. You should have popped with the torch, the Ash. All these operators can kind of deal with that Maestro camera. However, somebody may not be looking at that. They might have noticed somebody's just run out, but they may not see that camera's been put down there. Even if they do, when they do look at clearing it out with utility, while they can melee the Maestro camera, they've got to actually be aware that they can still put the pressure on it. So what they've got to do is use utility, which ideally I don't think they were hoping that Maverick was on the board for the Dallas Coyotes. A good attempt. I quite liked it. And when you think Maestro used to have 2 cameras, that third one, a lot of teams tend to use that third one as kind of like a passive one. They'll just put it somewhere and try something with it, and I'm alright with it there. Didn't work out though, so I'm going to stop talking about it. The thing we're going to focus on now, Dallas Coyotes are opening up Jacuzzi. That's the first big thing they needed, and now they're going to start looking over towards these highway windows if they do decide to push through. If they want that highway control, they need CCTV, and that's why Chungo's on that rafters right now.
One thing that I noticed is the boys on Dallas Coyotes always bring a Maverick. I swear every time they attack, they always bring a Maverick. And look at this angle that Moiner is watching. If the boys on Weebs are not careful enough when they're in con, they can get absolutely just destroyed. And no, I think somebody was just walking to the line of sight there, but Moiner ended up stopped holding the angle. He ended up getting off that angle. So that's going to be unfortunate. A kill that could have happened, but won't, at least not for right now. A minute 15 though, remaining in the round. Sorry, not in the round, but remaining in the round. And it seems like Moiner's gonna just absolutely make his way through into Cash, CC and through Cash, make his way in through Connie. Know somebody is in Logi's waiting to get a little bit jiggy with it, gonna open it up and swing out. Getting hit from the back, it's gonna be Yes on Black. I didn't mean to rhyme, but there it goes. Mr. Rock though for the instant refrag. A 4v4 and just about a minute remaining. They are gonna flash the boy in Logi, and it's basically just gonna be guns blazing and bullets flying everywhere. Azami is gonna get caught in a bad situation. She's gonna be left on 4 HP. Swinging out though, don't count Dano. It's gonna be a 4v3 as he takes down Mr. Rock. 35 seconds, making their way through Logi. Damn! How is that not a headshot? Down with a 2-piece though. Damn, if it's Dan, I guess we know exactly what's happening. And with that, the boys on Not Leave closing out that round beautifully so. Dan getting that cheeky little kill from just previously. And so with that, 2 more rounds, Not Weebs. Guys, you better put on your big boy pants, strap on the belts, and get to work, because absolutely not. Y'all cannot go OT.
And that's something that they really, really want to avoid. And that is something that I think we both felt in that round, where we saw the aggression of some of these peaks, but most importantly, the thought that was going behind a lot of them. We were seeing, I believe it was Dan, was going for a lot of peaks on that construction door, making sure that no one was on that window. Quick swing, back in cover. Focus on that window. That's your next point of contention. Then they're starting to think about how else they could support the team. For me, Dallas Coyotes, they let that round run away from them a little bit. They got control of Jacuzzi. They didn't really think about much on what to do with Logi other than pushing construction. They need 1 or 2 players maybe taking, or at least pushing these players out of cash and clearing it out. Have somebody maybe on that construction side, or at least that Logi hatch ready to watch for that flank, watch for that exit player. That wasn't something that happened. As a result, they had to have somebody on that construction doorway holding the angle. And that person wasn't even able to stop that wide swing. That took out the player over towards that construction door. That's when Weebs realized they really had a good opportunity for it. They got aggressive, they took the initiative, they won out those gunfights. And as well as that, a huge shout out to, I believe it was Dan on the Maestro. They were able to just hold that gym side, be aware that that pressure was still going to come from 90. Right, Demuno then, it would be Dem. It would be Dem, yeah. Dem sat on that Maestro, aware that this pressure's still going to be applied and getting that older, getting that and putting it to use. Now though, going back to CCTV cache. We saw this before. It didn't really go in favor of the not Weebs side. But the question is how the adaptation is going to come through. I've said adaptations a lot. I don't feel like we've seen too many, but where we've seen them, they've been enough.
I think the worst part about that CC cache hold is the Azami on Rafters. When she blocked off her own window, I think that was the real thorn in the side of Not Weebs. I don't think Dallas Coyotes won that round. I think Not Weebs lost it, and it was at their own... It was unfortunately at their own sword. But anyways, I digress. It's going to be Moiner again, trying to be a cheeky little booger. There's going to be somebody Logi, but he might just catch him off guard. Coming into that jacuzzi wall. And of course, Dan the man to take down Stingy. But will Moiner be able to get that refrag? They do know that somebody's going to be Jim, of course. But does Mr. Dan know that Moiner's going to be cheekily coming in from behind him? He's going to be waiting, moving into cash, but there is going to be somebody Logi as well. Maybe a little bit of a sandwich. Who knows? But unfortunately, Dan is going to get taken down by Mr. Homeless Rock. What an angle. Jesus. Not only that, though, Rock is going to be at 2 HP, a minute 25. They're going to have to get rid of this person in Logi. That Pokeball isn't going to do much, but unfortunately from that Logi hatch, going to get taken down. Winner to finish it off. And with that, the boys of Dallas Coyotes are going to have a nice little run around site. Moiner onto another one, making it a 2v4, just over a minute remaining on the board. It's up to Mr. Demo and Bean, Bean's been amazing, but can he be even more? He's got 10 kills. Can we make it? 13, taking down one. It's a 1v2 now, a minute remaining. Take it away, Mr. McCready.
That's the diffuser down as well. Time to get down for Bean. This is a very, very difficult situation. Remember, if they lose these gunfights, if they find that second kill that they need on Noodles, that is going to be it. The Dallas Coyotes are going to seal their fate. They're not going to be able to get that qualifying spot because at least match point is secured. A must-win round there for Bean, but you really can't put it on them. That was a really good executed round from Dallas Coyotes. They had that early drone, they had that flank watch, they had players watching these key cutoff positions. They realized where their points of contention were going to be from the side of Not Weebs, and they had people to deal with it. The two people pushing Logi, one from Hatch, one from main stairs. I don't really care how good of a player you are. That's a tough position to be in as a defender. Refrags were coming out really, really well, and the attackers, they realized that they had to play it perfect. As a result, they did that. They really locked in, and now they're finding themselves at that match point. Like you say, they have denied Not Weebs from that position they needed to continue on with this playoffs. They won't be able to make it to the playoffs, sorry. They'll stay where they are. As a result, you've got to feel gutted for the side of Not Weebs. But you cannot say that they haven't put up a fight. You look at the scoreboard. All of the players in this lobby really putting up numbers, and the ones that aren't doing so because they're not really winning gunfights. It's just because the kills aren't there to get when you have 3 players in double digits.
Absolutely, and I mean, like you said, they put up an amazing fight. Not Weebs. I mean, it kind of sucks that it had to come to that, especially because, like you said, we got 3 people with double digits. Unfortunately, it just can't end up following through. I mean, maybe if it was a better situation where they could go OT and still win, even with the regulation, then, you know, it might be a little bit different. But that's not the case. Let's see, though, if they will take us the whole mile, if they will bring us the whole way, and if they will bring us to OT and end up winning it out, despite them not being able to make it through any further. But with that, no Maverick for the side of Dallas Coyotes. That's interesting. Usually they always bring in the Maverick, and I don't think they brought one last round either, but maybe it's because of the fact that they are going to be going CC cash. That wall, however, is going to get opened up very early on, and Yes on Black is going to be over here by Jim and Bedroom. They're waiting. Of course, the jacuzzi wall is going to be opened up by none other than Mr. Nurdles, but will he be able to find a kill? Instead, he's going to get killed. Demo taking him down. It's a 5v4 in favor of the boys on Not Weebs. Will they be able to hold on to this advantage for a while? But as I say that, Moiner on the R4C, let him cook, is going to take down Yes, I'm Black, and that's going to bring it to a 4v4.
Yeah, and in doing so, that roaming presence pretty much dealt with. They can now focus over towards construction side. Not Weebs very much aware that this is where the push is going to come from. Have Domino on that flank ready to go. Big problem is, Noodles is dead and watching these cameras, watching that exact position actually. So while the attackers will be droning in for that push, Dan will be able to find Moiner. And as we see, Dallas Coyotes looking to close things out on the attack. Looks like Not Weebs are going to push this for overtime.
Unfortunately, Tango's going to be left in a 1v4, but scratch that, make it a 1v3, and never mind, scratch that again. Beanyard puts him down. That's going to be unfortunate. A wall bang as well to close it out, and we are going OT. My favorite. Not Weebs finally winning the defensive round that isn't gym and bedroom. Congratulations, boys. With that, Dallas Coyotes back on the defense.
Yep, and we are going to be heading to that bottom floor site. Now, again, just to remind yourself of what we saw in the first couple of rounds, Dallas Coyotes, they won out the first defensive round. They lost that first defensive round, due to a very, very good, very aggressive push from Not Weebs. Dallas Coyotes, once they took that to control, then they were really able to slow it down. I mean, they were able to put Not Weebs in very uncomfortable situations, especially with Goyo shields and feeling pressure that wasn't necessarily there. I mean, I feel like Not Weebs, they let it get in their head a little bit. They were getting aggressive. They were overpeaking. They were looking way too antsy for people with 2 players on the board, about 1:20 on the clock. I feel like that's something Dallas Coyotes done really well with pressure, and I want to see more of that. A couple of operators here that will really specialize in that role is the Azami, the Solace, and the Goyo. So Goyo canisters, do exactly what you think. Slow things down, stop a momentum, stop a push. Do damage if you have low time and you need to push through. There's something else you need to be aware of when just shoving utility at a defensive site. Solus is going to be another one, though that threat of the verticality above when you think about this kitchen side, exactly where they are. Right now, Nerdies is going to try and find a kill on the board, as is Moiner, but they're not going to find anything at the moment this early round. And Azami's the other one I really want to bring things on. Again, it's utility, it's self-destruction. They're taking out so much utility trying to clear these positions early on in these roam games that it means that they won't have it for the late round. That's when you really start to see that mute come into play, when they can't drone, they can't clear out that wall. That's what you're going to be looking for. Rather, though, being with that Buck CA gun is going to be able to find that first pick. Takes that player towards blue, and the rest of the attackers will look there as well. Yes, I'm Black going down as well, though, B.
Unfortunately, it's going to be a 4v4, another round where no one has the advantage. It's going to be equalized out. 2 minutes remaining, though, and Bandit is still holding strong. This mute jammer is absolutely the saving grace for Mr. Bandit, as he is going to still be on that top floor. The boys on Not Weebs are going to have to worry about who's on top, and of course, it will be the Bandit to DBNO Binya, but he's not out just yet. As it says, down but not out. They could either use him for bait, they can res him, or they can just let him die. But considering he's got 16 kills, I would hope they try and get him up, which exactly what they will do. Binya instantly getting res, taking it down Stingy. That's the Bandit that put a hole in him first, but couldn't finish him off. And with that, boys on Not Weebs back with the man advantage. 1:20 remaining, and Dallas Coyotes are going to have to hold down this site for the remainder of this round.
Yes, and with 1:15 left on the board, a 3 versus 4 situation. Now the turns have kind of tabled from where we were on the last one. I know what I've said, don't worry. Botez is going to be able to find a kill to really start compounding that onto the defense. It is going to be Homeless and Noodles left alone. Looking towards Moto, they will find a refrag. Homeless has another one as well as they even things out. Bean with a triple, though, will be looking for a quad kill to really get the edge over in this overtime point. First round. Question is, are they going to be able to make it another one? Homeless Rock over towards Church can shut things down here. Does have that C4 in pocket, if I'm not mistaken. But the plan's starting to go down. 30 seconds, now going to turn back to 45 in favor of the attack. You just have to hold these angles, B, and it looks like Botez is going to be the one to do it.
Hopefully, Mr. Rock can clutch it out. Gonna take down Mr. Both. It's gonna be Binya, the one who got TB'd over before, been on 20 HP this whole round. You gotta shut Bean out as fast as possible, because if you don't, he's gonna come back harder and stronger. Not only getting that defusal down, but instantly getting res and picking off that player, along with winning the final kill to bring them to overtime match point. Not Weebs on an absolute heater right now, and Dallas Coyotes are gonna have to win this out. They're gonna have to bring us 7-7. I hope they bring us 7-7. That would be the best. But we will see in this case. We are going the one round that Not Weebs had won very definitively, and it will be a gym and bedroom.
Yeah, and this gym bedroom site, it's one that I've really enjoyed watching the way that the two different teams will play it and both approach it. I've liked seeing the attacking kind of variation, especially from the Dallas Coyotes, where they've been able to just kind of switch things up. They haven't really... it shows the kind of wealth of strats that they have in this, and the breadth that they have in regards to that. Because it's the fact that they've been able to just identify problems that will cause them issues, and then just rotate around, decide they want to do something else, and not focus that in that position as well. That's what I like to see. That's what teams on Clubhouse should be able to do. They should be able to say, well, this strat isn't going to work. We need to try something else. Now, Not Weebs, now onto the defense. Like you mentioned, going to their defensive site of choice, and feel like they've really started coming to their own on the defense. They're still going to have this very extended hold. Two players looking for a spawn peek at the very start. Neither Dan or, I believe it is Dem, looking for that. Neither of them are going to find it, B. But again, it's setting very, very strong expectations for the attackers. They know exactly what they're going into right now, and that is a hard, hard fight every single step of the way. Not Weebs, they will not be moving forward into the playoffs, but they will not be going down without a fight.
Oh my god, that was a perfect way to put it. I wonder if they know that they needed to win in regulation. I hope that they're just trying their hearts out because they want to win, and that's all there is to it. Because a lot of times if teams know that they're just, not going to end up winning, it's just like, damn, whatever. Now we know that we're not going to make it anywhere, there's no point. But with that, I love to see that Not Weebs is going to be trying their absolute best. I see Moiner being a little bit cheeky. I'm not sure if he was on top of Raptors or if he was just underneath by Garage. But regardless, Jacuzzi Wall is going to be opened up a bit for the boys on Dallas Coyotes. And it doesn't seem like there's a crazy roam presence other than seems like just basic. That CC catch overextension, and that's going to be about it. It seems like every single team plays this absolutely the same. Very linear. CC and catch extension, and that's about it. But with that, Moiner is going to be top Raptors trying to contest whoever that is inside of Cash. Will he be able to get a kill, or will he get killed in the process? There's going to be two, as one will be top red as well. I believe it is Dan.
Now, I'm looking at this, and with this defensive setup, I typically look at and say, yeah, I believe it's standard for a reason. They're able to tear things back, they pull back, and all these lines of sights are made to make sure that once the attackers get into Cash, they're not able to get out. You've seen that first goal coming out from being able to hit their 20th kill in this round, in this game so far, and an incredible stat to be putting up. And just as it's coming through, us, the analyst team behind us are actually informing us that they can still qualify, but it does require a team to disband. And unfortunately, I hope that isn't the case, purely for the fact that a team keeps going. But talk about teams going down, we're going to talk about being taken off the board, because Moiner has a second frag B, and now they're pushing through Con.
45 seconds remaining on the round, and that's going to be the biggest contributor for Not Weebs being taken down. But Chung is going to get taken down by Dan. Don't count Dan out just yet, because he's been playing amazing as well. It's going to be a 3v3, 30 seconds. They do know somebody's going to be outside of this bedroom window. Y'all call it highway windows, but guys, I'm not too sure which highway window is which highway window, so I just say bedroom window. Regardless, though, it seems like Dan might try and swing out a little bit wherever it is in CC or Cash. Both is going to take down Moiner and Dan. Or no, sorry, Nurdles, and then Moiner taken down by Dan. It's a 1v3, Homeless Rock left alone with not even 10 seconds remaining. Dan whipping him right into shape. Absolutely beautiful. Not Weebs. Although, unfortunately, their run might end here regardless. This was an amazing game to get to watch.
Honestly, yeah, and it really hurts because you just think those 2 rounds won in overtime, just one of them in regulation, and they wouldn't be sat in a situation where they are facing that elimination. Like I say, it's not entirely over yet for them, but it does rely on a couple of things going their way, which isn't the position you want to be in. As things stand, they can't make it through. They might be able to, but you'll have to stay tuned on that on all the socials, Twitter, Discord, everything like that, because we will make sure we keep you informed. Looking towards that game itself, I mean, I gotta give both teams credit. That was really, really well played from them. The attacking and defensive side really was a masterclass on how to play a map like Clubhouse. And I'll give them credit. I mean, both teams, I don't feel like there's really much you can criticize them on. They performed well, the coordination was there for the most part. It was just little lapses of judgment that really led to when rounds were decided by one team or another. Because of that, for me, B, I do want to say, like, both teams deserve to win. It's just a shame that the way it went, it means that moving forward, it's not going to be as competitive as it could have been. For the side of not Weebs, though, even if they don't go through, there's a lot to work with, a lot of really, really good showings from that round, from rounds and plays in particular, and fraggers that are able to perform like that under that amount of pressure. There's a lot of talent behind that team. I do expect them to be able to move forward. And as long as they use that as a kind of template in moving forward in maps and matches that they come up against, there's a lot of good things in the future for them. On the side of the team, which was the Dallas Coyotes, they are going to continue with that three. They are going to get not get those 3 points. They're going to get the half point, I believe, for losing. As a result of that, they are still going to sit around about that second or third mark in the group. They are going to stay where they are, and it means that that group just got a little bit more competitive for the second and third spot.
Oh, well, congratulations to them. I will say, not Weeps. 20 kills for Mr. Beanyot. At least it wasn't all in vain. They did end up winning it. So it was definitely a game that I feel like I didn't want anybody to lose, honestly. Although I did have the favor on the boys on Dallas Coyotes, I do actually seen Beanyot hit 20. It changed me. I was like, damn, I don't want you guys to lose. I want everybody to win now. I wish everybody could just win, but unfortunately, there's no comp if everybody's a winner. Fortunately, somebody's going to have to be a loser. And it was Dallas Coyotes tonight, but it seems like not Weebs have won the battle, but they have not won the war. Unless somebody drops out.
Yeah. Yeah, and unfortunately, it's not a situation you want to be in. But like I say, there's a lot of good positives moving forward for both teams. I'm really excited for what the playoff seeds have, and at least AEL season 2, because hopefully not Weebs will be looking at returning if they don't make it forward on this one as well. That is going to be the only game that we're watching today. The first game we weren't able to broadcast. I do apologise for that, but it's circumstances beyond our control, so there's not much we could do regarding it. But what a game to watch instead, B. I want to say, I know I enjoyed it, and I know you did. Kind of keeping the energy up the whole time. Really, really appreciative of it. Looking at that as well with the teams, though, I think if you got to pick an MVP, I know you've mentioned Bean with the high kill count. If there's anybody, it can be Bean, or it doesn't have to be. Who's your kind of MVP so far, then?
Other than Bean, I will tell you Dan. Dan was popping up out of everywhere, out of places that you would have never thought. That guy is nutty on Vigil. I'll tell you that right now. And I had to give it to Dan because if it wasn't Binya, because he did get them 20 kills, I will say Dan was absolutely doing exactly what he had to do. He was getting it down, man. He was plowing and absolutely running through people with Vigil, man. It was absolutely stellar. Beautifully done. What about you? If Binya couldn't be the MVP, who do you think you'd give it to?
I think I would still give it to Monya, because there was a lot of moments where we saw Monya being able to really step up and be that clutch factor for the team. We saw that ace. It wasn't enough to win out a round, and like I said, I don't think that should have got to that situation in general. I feel like, though, in terms of positioning for me, I'm really, really happy with how Mjolnir played, how they were able to win out gunfights, and it was key gunfights as well. It wasn't just exit frames. It wasn't just picking up meaningless kills. It was key moments that were helping decide the fate of rounds on that one. And as well as that, we've also got stats coming through that Dan, Binya, and Muna all have a shot of All-Star at the moment. So it is all still to play for these teams. I know Dan and Binya, they're only going to be able to kind of lock in on this league side of the group stages, to try and get that position locked in. Muna, though, going to be looking at moving forward. They're going to have a really good opportunity for that. I do reckon that one of these three are probably going to take it because, I mean, Dan had a massive impact as well. I've got to give a lot of credit to yourself.
Absolutely. Well played to both the boys on Not Weebs and Dallas Coyotes. We got any final words, McCready, before we sign off? Oh, there's still. Oh no, the stats. Fortunately, stats are not going to be loaded in time. I didn't even realize they were taking so long. I'm like, I guess we're not going to do them, but I guess you were until it was taking too long. But anyways, Moiner, or not Moiner. You got Moiner stuck in my head. McCready, you got any last words before we close it out?
I'm really looking forward to the next couple of games we've got coming up. Things are really going to heat up as we do start to approach the closing stages of this group stage, and teams are starting to lock in their positions. The top spots are starting to fill up a little bit now, so for a lot of these teams, this is crunch time. We've seen Not Weebs. This was their moment. They weren't able to hit the mark at the moment. They might still go forward, but we'll have to wait and see. For the rest of the teams, though, you will have an opportunity to do that exact thing. Watch and see on this channel. Get involved on the Twitter. Get involved on the Discord. All the information will be there. Most importantly, we're going to sign off for the night. I've been McCready. Joining me is B on the cameras. Carlo Renz on the production, and Unnamed making sure all the action was caught for yourselves. Do enjoy your night, and we will see you soon.
Bye, guys. Love y'all.